Hello hobby hunters, Neoluce here with another unboxing, and today we are taking a look at Super7 Slash. I got this last year, I think. I don't remember time as well as most people do. In my mind, I've been collecting Ninja Turtles for 3 years. I started my TMNT collection with this Slash. As you can see behind me, I changed a few things, but I have some Ninja Turtles already unboxed, yeah? Most of these are not in boxes because I bought them secondhand and they weren't in boxes. So most of this stuff I got on flea markets and stuff like that. And I started collecting after I got Slash. So the initial idea was to get one Slash figure, and then I found out there were more, like the Archie Slash from NECA that came out in August 2022 or was presented in August. And then there was Turtles in Time Slash, which was presented in September 2024, I believe. And I really like Slash, so I started collecting all of the ones that were available. In the meantime, I also got this Funko Pop Slash, the super awesome Joy Toy Slash. I also got NECA's Cartoon Slash, as well as the Best Action Cartoon Slash. And I just found out Mondo released this fucking awesome beast of a Slash. I definitely want this one. So, Super7 Slash was presented at SDCC 2018 and shipping started as early as 2019. I got mine probably 3 years ago. Yeah, that is possible. And then I posted on Facebook, like, has anyone seen any of the other Slashes? They have been presented, but they weren't out yet. So, I got this one first, then I got Archie Slash, and then I got Turtles in Time Slash. Or first Turtles in Time Slash and then Archie Slash. It doesn't matter. This is where my collection started. So why am I unboxing a Wave 6 Super 7 figure first instead of Wave 1 Raphael, for example? Mostly because of this reason. I started collecting with this Slash, so I thought it would be fit if he was the first figure on my channel that I unboxed. I did already unbox the statues, the little statues here, but no actual action figures yet. I am talking way too much for a review about this figure, so let's just start unboxing it at our unboxing table. Let's go. Alright, we're at the unboxing table here with our Super7 Slash. First off, Super7 started selling their figurines in this box. A mailer, I think it's called. And there's not much to it, but yeah, the figurine is in this box. And they stopped doing that later on. So let's get this box open. In this box is another box that is wrapped in plastic. Those bags, they still use them. So even when they stopped using the slip covers, they still use these bags, at least. So let's get that bag open. I love how this looks. I am sad that they stopped using the slip covers because they look amazing. From what I know, the heroes all have green slip covers and the bad guys all have purple ones. So we got Slash here on a manhole cover, and we got two of his weapons on the side here, and his name is on the box under that. We'll look at that soon. We have the Ultimates logo here because it's Super7 Ultimates, and then just the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo right there. It looks beautiful. I'm not going to display the box because I don't have the space for it, but if I could, I would definitely. Also want to note that this box is pretty wide. Let's compare it to a newer one. This is one without a slipcover because it's one of the later waves. All the other ones are about this size. I think Bebop and Rocksteady also have a wider box because they're a big ass figure. Let's get that slipcover off and have a look at our Slash. Oh my god. I'm so happy to finally unbox this. Jesus Christ, I've been looking forward to this so long. I really hope, because I've been hearing stories about Super7, that this is worth it. He looks so awesome in that box, man. Alright, let's have a look at the entire thing. So we got this nice brick motif with the graffiti on it. Same thing on this side. We have the front with Slash in there. We have the TMNT logo on the top. Then at the bottom, it says Super7 at super7.com, content 1 figure with accessories. There's a choking hazard on here, and then all this stuff. 2021. Let's have a look at the back here. I love this, just this brick motif is pretty awesome. And then we have a foot here. We have an electric thing with the Turtles logo on it. And then we have the text here. Slash, the evil turtle from Dimension X. In an attempt to fight fire with fire, Shredder created the perfect turtle terror, a ninja nemesis from Dimension X named Slash. This snarling, snapping mutant menace is the total opposite of our beloved turtle teens. He's a crazed carnivorous cannibal who only eats tender turtle tenderloin, even for breakfast. This anti-turtle teen slashes his way through the sewers on a maniacal mission of mass destruction. Armed with his psycho sigh and one good eye, Slash skewers anything that's good and green. Okay, that was a bunch of tongue twisters. Apparently, Slash is a cannibal. Now, Super7 bases their figures, their ultimates, on the 80s toys. Unfortunately, I don't have the 80s Playmates toy to compare them to. Anyway, let's get him out of there. While I'm doing this, I can say one thing for sure, and that is that they are fucking stuck in there. Very secure. While I'm unboxing this off cam, Slash has one twisty tie. Everything else was stuck in there pretty good, very secure. Alrighty, there we have our Slash and everything that he comes with. There is a lot of stuff in here and I am super happy about that. There are a few things that I'm not so happy about. The fact that he was super fucking stuck in there and I had to yank him out. It does say something about the security of this stuff. I had some NECA figures just sitting loose in the box. I was not happy with that. And those were secondhand, so I know for sure that they were stuck in there originally, but putting them back in their box, they are in there loose if you don't have the twisty ties and stuff. This guy, you can stuff him in there and he'll be secure 100%. Let's start with this thing. There's a weapons rack, just like you had with the old toys. These are all the weapons that he has, but in this pink coloration. Right here, this thing is loose and one of the grenades fell off. That was like that in the box. You can see he has the Psycho Sai, the sword, the Bowie knife or whatever you call this, the nunchuck, I want to say a flail, but a flail is actually on a chain. Ball stick with spikes there. 2 grenades, so this one's supposed to be on here, and then these 3 ninja stars that go on his belt. Now let's look at his beautiful body here. So here we have Slash. This is the face he comes with. He also has an alternative one. And I think I like this one more. He looks more like the Slash that I know and love. This looks more like the toy from the 80s. This looks more like the Slash that I like, personally. Like, his teeth aren't so fucked up. Very nice detail. I love this. I don't know what this fabric is called, but yeah, the rubber problem. It's just rubber. It's kind of malleable, I guess you would call it. Just like his tie-offs here and here, you can bend them a little bit and it feels real good as well. He feels very sturdy. He is pretty hefty as well. Let's have a look at his back here. All these spikes, and his belt looks amazing. And he has a tail. I love turtles that have a tail. Now, I'm gonna be very critical about my Ninja Turtle unboxing in the future because there is something that I don't like, and that is when they are not accurately portrayed as turtles. So yeah, most of them don't have tails, which is something that I'm not a fan of. And then the side here is not connected, the front shell, the plectrum, to the actual shell. It is here, but is the same color as his actual skin. But yeah, you can definitely tell they did an effort to make it look like the plectrum is connected to the back shell. With some turtles, you'll see belts going underneath the shell, which makes no fucking sense. Or when they're wearing clothing, it also doesn't make any sense. What I notice as well while I'm handling him here, his legs feel very loose. And I've heard that is an issue with the Super 7 Ninja Turtles and all of the other characters. You can see his legs are pretty loose. When I shake him, he doesn't really. But that's because they get stuck in place at a certain point. But yeah, once I remove it from that point, it is pretty loose. He does stand well on his own. I just have to make sure that I adjust him for it. Love the paintwork on him. I love all these little details. Look at that, man. We have all these little zits and stuff. There's a wash over there. This kind of sucks though, like the wood and the ropes are just one plain color. Same with the belt and the bandages around his hands that hold his spikes. The spikes on his knee is also just very flat color. Same with his eye, his toenails here, and all the spikes on his back. They're just one simple color, while they did so much effort on his body itself. Like, look at all the small little details in his legs here. So muscular as well. And the shell looks amazing. I love all these little scratches in the shell. The shell patterns are probably typically what they will be for all the turtles, but they look cool. You have these deep cuts in his chest as well. There's quite a few of them. I really like how he looks. All the details in the skull as well. There's a little scratch in here that doesn't appear on this side, so it's not just duplicated. Or maybe it is duplicate and they just added the scratch there. That is possible. They look very similar. Anyway, that is Slash. We'll look at his articulation after going over the accessories here. Alright, first we have this Bowie knife, if that's what you call it. Pretty cool. It looks very metallic. It has this wooden finish. The same pink wood as... well, it's actually a little bit more pink, and that looks more purple. So yeah, maybe they have wooden trees in Dimension X that are pink. There's a cut in here that is supposed to be there. It's not a cute whatever. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. And then these spikes on the back, very cool. I love that. Very cool knife. Then we have his sword. It's like a lightning bolt. It has a black handle. Very short though. I wonder if it can hold it. We'll check that in a minute. And there's this little thing on the top, like the toy used to have. He also has that in the Archie comics, I believe. Let's put this sword in one of his hands here. Yep, there we go. That fits very nicely. Let's turn it around actually. There you go. Fits in the hand pretty well. And I'll check the Bowie knife in his other hand here that I have. Maybe I should use the hands that are on him right now, because this doesn't seem like it's gonna fit. Are those the exact same hands? No. These ones have a bigger opening. Also, these twist to the side, apparently. You can see here. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it has like this movement. While if you look at this hand goes up and down rather than to the side, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I gotta get this knife in his hand, so let's cut. I got it in there. His fingers are very tight. You gotta push a little to get it in there, man. But yeah, it works. We'll have a look at how that looks on him. Actually pretty cool. Let's have a look at the hands real quick first. These are the hands that he comes with. Yeah, just basic gripping hands with the claws on the back. I also don't know where they connect. Look at this. There's this bandage supposed to hold these knives in place, but if you look at the palm, they're not really connected to anything. It's just sitting there at the side. Anyway, those are the two basic hands that he comes with. Then here we have two fists. If you want to punch a turtle with these spikes on there, boom. And then we have these two more open expressive hands. It could be like, come at me bro, or pointing at something. Alright, let's continue with the weapons. I think this is the Psycho Sai, somewhat smaller version of the sword, except it has this two parts on the side that the sword doesn't have. So it kind of resembles the Sai, but like butchered. Most of his weapons look like the Ninja Turtles weapons, but in a butchered form. Like we have Leo's sword, and then we have Raph's Sai, and then we have this thing, which is like a nunchuck, but with spikes on there. It's pretty cool. Also that pink wooden finish. We even have a branch cut off here. That's a nice attention to detail right there. Yeah, same here. There's like a piece of a branch broken off there, and then we have all the spikes in the middle. And then the last one is supposed to be like Donnie's bow staff butchered into a mace, club, ball mace. I don't know what you call this. It has this pink wood again with look at this, where the branch broke off, and then the black wrapping around it, and then at the back as well we have like a little wrapping with a tie off. The club itself, you can see the seam right there where they put the two halves together, but when you display them like that, it doesn't really show up unless you look at them from the side. Then we have two very tiny grenades, don't lose. There's a pin in there, and they have spikes on them. That is pretty awesome for a grenade, man. Pretty sweet. I wonder if we can attach them to him somehow. And then the last weapons, 3 different ninja stars. Well, it's not 3 different ones, it's 2 different ones, but we got one double, right? And then just a regular star. I love the metallic look on these. The final thing here is the alternative head. He looks like a turtle or a ninja turtle from the olden days. He looks so well. So yeah, I'm definitely putting that face on there. People that I've seen doing reviews say that you need to heat up your figurines because they could be a little tight. I want to show how they come out of the box and what you have to watch out for. So we're gonna pull his head off, see if that works out of the box without heating anything up. And yep, just comes off like that. You heard that pop, and that indicated this face came off. Let's try to get this one on that ball. It's on there. Yeah, definitely displaying him with this face, man. He looks so much cooler with that menacing face than this psycho fucking face. I do love this face though. I just have more love for this one. I just hate that his neck is so straight. Look at that fucking neck, man. But yeah, from the front, he looks very cool. And then these 2 weapons, pretty awesome. Anyway, let's see if the other weapons fit in his hands, or we have to switch up the hands for them. So the club fits pretty well in there. And you can adjust the position as well. Although it is kind of loose at the bottom, but if you turn it and put one of these spikies on a specific spot, yeah, he can hold it pretty well. It's not gonna come out of there, that's for sure, unless you pull it out like that. There you go. And the nunchuck fits in this hand as well. You can see there's a little bit more space for the nunchuck, but it's pretty tight, pretty good. He's holding it pretty well. Now let's see if he can hold these grenades and the ninja stars. Right off the bat, you can tell this handle is a little bit thicker than this one. Not by much, but it is a little bit thicker. So let's try to get it in his hand. It just snapped in there, and it looks pretty good. I just hope that it does fit in the other hands as well. They look like the holes of the hands are a little bit smaller, but they also move up and down, and that would be nicer for the sword at least. Yeah, it turns out it holds it perfectly. You just have to put a little bit more elbow grease in there. But yep, it fits in that hand just as well as the other one, and you can move it up and down, so you can make like nice slashing pose or whatever. Very cool. Now, I don't see a way to put the grenade in his hand. It's a little thick, and this hand is not open enough unless you just put it like that. I don't know. I think maybe that's what these hands are for. Yeah, they fit in there, and he holds them pretty well. You can shake it and it's not gonna fall out. So yeah, use the open expressive hands for the grenades. Yeah, see, you can just pick it up and it's stuck in there. And then finally, I think these hands might be the better ones for the ninja stars, just by shoving them between his thumb and his finger. There you go. He holds it pretty well. Yeah, these hands, like I said, the fingers are a little bit more spaced. The one with the in and out movement rather than the up and down movement. I could just shove that in there without having to push it in, and it's still kind of loose. Compared to this one, same side hand, it's stuck in there. You see these pegs on the side here. That's where you plug in these stars. One over here, and I don't think there's a specific way of having how to put them, so I'm just gonna randomly do it. There, that's one. 2. So this last one just doesn't want to get on there. All right, so I switched the star with this one, and that worked better. Although this one's not completely pushed in on there. This one works better with that peg, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. If anyone hasn't had an issue with that, let me know. They're supposed to be all the same size, right? All right, and then finally, let's get into articulation. He can move his head up pretty high. I didn't expect that going that high. And then down, pretty good. I expect better, but his shell is in the way. Oh, and then his head just pops off if you try to go any more down than you already did. Head back on. So down is not much. Up is pretty good, not bad. Left, pretty good actually. And then right. And of course, because he's on a ball joint, you could just go all the way around. Next up, the arms. Shoulder goes up about this far. And it's not because it's being stopped by the shoulder pauldron, it's just very tight out of the box. I don't know if heating it up will get it any higher than this, but yeah, this is about straight, which is good. That's very good for Slash. It can go all the way around, except, you know, because the arm is being stopped by the shell, push it out a little, and yeah, it goes all the way around. Because basically everything is a goddamn ball joint. It has a cut here, so you can turn the arm until where it gets stopped by the shoulder pauldron here. Yeah, the shell will stop it. And I think I cut into the shell with the pauldron here. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a cut on this spike. I don't know if I did that, turning the arm, because it's right on that spot here. It also has one here, and I haven't moved this arm at all, so it's not my fault. See that right here? There's like a cut in the spike. I didn't do that. So maybe it's just part of the design. Like, he has cuts all over his shell, so... Yeah, let me know if your Slash also have these cuts, if you haven't. I think he's single jointed here at the elbow. Yep, that is a single joint. And he goes about 90 degree, straight 90 degree. It's not bad. Then the hand can move all the way around. It doesn't move in much or out. Well, let's get rid of this grenade here. This is about what you get from the hand on this thing here. It's pretty decent. It's not terrible. Let's see what the legs are all about. Can Slash do a perfect split? He can do a goddamn perfect split. Not that he would need it, and it also kind of stretches out his belt here, as you can see. But yeah, he can do a full split. He can kick about this far up. That's a pretty good kick. That is very good. Let's see how far back it can go. Are you kidding me? Not at all. Because he's stopped by the shell, he can't move his leg back at all. Whatsoever. I was so excited by the fact that he can kick up this far. There is a 90 degree knee. It is single jointed as well. So yeah, we get about that. There is a cut in here. People like this? I personally feel like that is fucking weird because you cannot move your leg like that. It's impossible to do in real life. As far as figures go, if it brings you extra poses that can be neat, then why not, right? And then the foot here, it has a rocker. Pretty far actually. He can just sidekick you. What the fuck? That is unnatural. It can go all the way that way, and then we have an down about this far, and then up about that far. That is not bad. Let's look at that from the side here. Yeah, that up that far, down that far. Pretty good, actually. The only thing that is annoying is his loose leg. This one is not as loose as this one. Maybe that's just a problem with my Slash, but it is pretty loose, yeah? And this one, loose as fuck. The tail, actually, does it have articulation? It does. It can turn left that far, right that far. It doesn't go up or down. That is it for the articulation. Now, I don't know if this is normal for most people that have this figure, but look at his plectrum. It is kind of skewed. more to this side. It's not straight on his body. It looks like it's leaning towards this side of the body. I have more space in between the shoulder and his plectrum here than I do of... I don't have any space here because it's overlapping the shoulder on this side. It's not here. Not a fan of that, but it doesn't look terrible. Does he have any movement from that upper body? If you look in here, it does look like the upper body here, this piece, is under this piece. But maybe that's just the way they designed it to fit together. Yeah, there's no crunch or anything. I was gonna talk about that as well. There's no body crunch, so that limits his articulation a bit. How tall is Slash? From bottom to top, I would say 16 centimeters, and that is being generous. I don't have any of the other Slashes unboxed, nor any of the Super 7 Ninja Turtles, so let's compare him to a whole bunch of Raphaels, right? Let's start with the bulkiest figure that I had up to this point is this Raphael from the Batman X Ninja Turtles. If I stand him up straight, he's a little bit smaller than Slash. Actually, he's almost the same size, but Slash is definitely bulkier. Then we have the NECA comic Raphael. This is an interesting one. The NECA movie Raphael. He is taller than Slash, but still not even close to being as bulky. Then we have the Playmates 2003 Raphael. The Playmates 2002 Raphael. Just for funsies, this thing. And then we have the one that's supposed to be as bulky as this Slash, the Bay movie Raphael. Pathetic Playmates. Look at this thing. It's tiny. Look at Slash. He could eat this one for breakfast. Get away from here. Let's get into some posing and then a final word. Alright, so that is Slash. I had a lot of fun posing him. There were a few things that I forgot to mention during the looking at the figure. First off, there's a little thing here where you could put the grenades in. A little slit here in the pocket right there. And yeah, you can put both of them in there. And then there's a little pocket here where you can put the knife in. I've noticed that is the only weapon that really looks good in there. You could try to put the sword in, but it just reaches all the way to the floor. It's not a nice fit. This one doesn't go in there because this thing is in the way, and then you could put the nunchuck in there, but the spikes get in the way, so it's just sticking up, which looks weird because that's supposed to be like a chain, right? I did notice also there's a little bit of space between his shell and the belts, so you can put the sword in there, and it actually looks not bad in my opinion if it's just sitting in there. Unfortunately, there's no storage space for the other weapons. You could put the knife in there, but that kind of looks stupid. It's way too big to be stored there. This one is just about enough. I really like him, despite the legs having these issues. He does look fucking awesome, and the posing was really great. The biggest problem that these legs have is because they're so loose and he's so top heavy, he just slides through his legs. Before I started recording again, I posed him standing almost straight up, and yeah, he just slides into a pose of his own at his own will. I really like the pose that I have him in, like this arm spread kind of pose, but from this angle it doesn't look really great because it kind of looks like he's looking up through while his face is pretty much down, I guess like this, except his legs aren't working with me, so it kind of looks weird. There. Yeah, this pose really works for him. I don't know, I'm kind of inclined to pose him without his weapons and just like this in my glass case because that looks freaking awesome. He looks very menacing, and that's the way I like my Slash. I am happy that I do have the option, so if I once decide I want him to wield a mace, then I can just switch out his hand, put the mace in there, and there you go. He has a mace in his hand. I can switch the pose. He doesn't have bad articulation. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Hopefully we'll have some figures with better articulations and not worse. But for now, this is my standard. And I'm really happy with the Slash. I would say I'd give him an 8 out of 10 just for the way he looks, because the appearance is fucking amazing. The points going off are just for the articulation. The legs being loose, the limited posability, that is what takes this down for me. We have a lot of accessories, a lot of different things you can do with him, so that is a plus. And that's it, basically. I like this Slash, really happy that I have him, really happy that it is the first one that I unboxed and that it sets a pretty good standard, because this was like what, wave 6, and I heard that especially the older waves had trouble with their legs, and most of mine are gonna be of the older waves, I'm not sure, but I have high hopes for the ones later on, although I haven't heard a lot of good from Super7 from their later stuff either. I don't know, let's put Slash as the standard for just Super7, and hopefully everything is either as good or better than him. Although for appearances, in my personal opinion, nothing tips that. Maybe Bebop and Rocksteady, but yeah, for me Slash is just the most awesome looking character in the Ninja Turtles universe. If you do not agree, let me know in the comments below. I mean, it's a free fucking country, I was gonna say, but we're on the internet, we're everywhere. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on Slash in particular. I don't care about all the bullshit around Super7. Just let me know what you think of this Slash in particular. How do you feel he goes up against NECA's 2 versions of Slash? How does he go up against the original that he's based on, the Playmates toy? I wish I had him so I could compare, but I don't. Maybe if I ever get him, I will make a video of him unboxing, and then I'll use this Slash as an example instead of a bunch of Raphaels. But hey, next time when I open Super7, I have Slash to compare him to. Anyway, I'm ranting again, so I'm just gonna cut it off here. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if you want. I don't give a shit. Just don't press the dislike button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye. A ninja nemesis from Dimension X named Slash. This snarling terror. A ninja... What? Shoo. I'm gonna redo that. Because I can't fucking read like an idiot. He's a crazed carnivorous... I can't say the word carnivorous. And of course, like usual, I don't have my knife present. Like a fucking moron. Why would he have grenades? Get the fuck out of here. Yep. Jesus. Fucking Christ, man. Yeah, man. Fists. Come on. Fuck yeah. Oh. God damn. I am fighting with this box. Shit. That is bent. Oof. Goddamn. Slash. Get out of this goddamn plastic, man. Oh, yeah. There he is, my big boy. Why is the camera so fucking crooked? Get straight. Nope. Fucking work with me, pog. There you go. Click, fucking clack. No. Alright, fuck it. It'll have to do. We can fucking stand him for a second. Can you fucking stand on yourself? I hate that his legs are so loose. We'll have another look at that when we do articulation. But yeah, and then we have these two more open, expressive hands. Like maybe a gesturing hand. Like, come at me, bro. And I'll just show them on the fucking figure instead. Then we have these two fucking tiny grenades that keep falling out of my hand and that I will lose if I keep fucking doing that. The NECA cartoon Slash. Then we have here the NECA comic Slash.